welcome to another episode of Media Monks. We're joined this week by special guest Eno.
What's up?
Yep, Eno.
From the YouTubes, I guess?
From the YouTubes. From the YouTubes and my small Twitter community of just P-Fleck and myself. That's all we do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I guess, I don't know about you guys, but not much happened this week in terms of big media events. I didn't see that new Johnny Depp movie. So.
Yeah, I mean, this week I spent the whole week writing and doing stuff, and I might be writing for an online magazine now, so I don't know, like, it's been nothing but text for me this week.
Well, that's exciting. Do you want to announce that, or no?
No, not until we work things out.
Okay, probably a good idea. And we both applied for admission to E3, but why?
Yeah, I sent my credentials finally for E3, but it might be too late at this point, so I don't know.
And I'm also just going to say, like, highly unlikely, but I'll be happy if, I don't know. Either way, I'll learn more about myself in the process.
I guess.
Yeah.
When is E3?
In like 3 weeks.
The 5th to the 7th.
You know what? Let me see something. So you can either be a member, or you can be a member of the media, which gets you a cheaper discount, right? Which gets you some sort of discount for it.
No, it gets you in free. You get a free pass.
Yeah,
with your media.
you get a pass, and then it's just a matter of getting to Los Angeles and sleeping somewhere. Which, yeah.
Oh, how much is attendee registration? It doesn't even say, does it? How much is the regular registration?
It's like $900, you were saying, Nathan?
This year, yeah, I guess it's nearly $1,000 for just a pass, just to get you in.
Wow.
So, yeah, people were kind of complaining about that. And I guess Paul was saying it's kind of the wrong year to go, because nothing's probably going to happen, but I don't know.
like, I mean, Wii U stuff, but, I mean, maybe they might announce some specs for their new systems, but not likely.
No, next year, fellas, that's the year to go.
Next year, I will very likely be able to go for a few reasons, but, I mean, this year was kind of last minute, so I'm not expecting any miracles, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's no huge loss if it doesn't work out, and then we can work the next year to get to a point where they will accept us, no questions. They'll just be like, oh, happy to have you.
How does it work? I don't know how it works in Canada, but in the States, like, say, you could get an LLC, right? So I could get a company and create and call it like a news company or whatever, right? And then Paul, you could write for it, right? For the web page, right? All you got to do is just write, like, every week and post it on it. And then you could take your company profile and your writing and apply for the media as well, right? Without having to, instead of applying as just a media outlet and then nothing with no backing of a company or something.
It's the same thing here in Canada. You can register a company and stuff like that. The thing is, like, I was registered 2 months ago with one of the sites I write for that is a company, but I didn't submit my credentials until today, so it might be too late because cutoff is in like 48 hours.
Yeah, but cutout's in 48 hours, so you totally made it under the wire.
I guess, but like, I don't know.
Stop being such a negative Nelly. If you got it in under the wire, you might be in like Flynn. And if you're in like Flynn, you need to go and take pictures.
Yeah, I mean, if for some miracle I go, it'll be pictures, a lot of writing, and probably some video stuff. So, yeah.
Yes, we should definitely stand up a YouTube channel for that kind of stuff. And bring it all up to the forefront. Because it'll be like P-Fleck reporting live. Or you know what else is a good option? Twitch, right? You could report live through Twitch. Twitch.tv.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yep, you probably could.
You're going to be using your 3G down there? Doesn't that cost like $1 billion?
Oh, you don't have... Oh, what are you on? What's it up there? Roberts Wireless? What's it called? What's you guys' wireless called?
Rogers.
Rogers.
Yeah. I'm with Bell, though. I got rid of Rogers because they were charging me about $150 a month.
Yeah, I'm with their unofficial friend Fido. It's a dog.
Do you guys have 4G up there, or is it all 2G?
Yeah, we have 4G, but we don't have unlimited data either.
Yeah.
How much data what do you get, like 2 gigs, and you pay like $40 a month?
I think the most you can get is 2 gigs for, I think it's around $80 a month, and then every megabyte you do over that charges like $2 more.
I don't know if it's that high, but
you guys are getting boned. So I have unlimited for $30 a month,
Yeah, see, like, if we were in the States, I would have unlimited, and I would probably just carry an iPad everywhere. I wouldn't have a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't work up here that way at all. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you're screwed.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, here the way it works is like, so I have quote unquote unlimited, but at 5 gigs, what they do is, so I'm 4G up to 5 gigs, right? I hit 5 gigs of data usage, and this month I'm sitting at like 3.5, but I hit 5 gigs of data usage, and then what they do is they dumb me down to 3G to help me prevent me from trying to download another 5 gigs of data.
Right, and I guess that kind of makes sense. Up here, like, my phone plan is set to voice and data, and my data is like 500 megs, so I don't use it at all.
Ugh, golly. It's just Canada. Just move to the States, bro. Fix that problem right there.
Yeah, just leave everything you've known and move. You know what? I've been considering it these last few months, so...
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like, I've been ready to just pick up and, like, leave for the coast, so...
I guess you were kind of talking about that. I thought you were joking. But okay.
No, I'm not at all.
Well, if you want to come out and visit me, I'll be in Vancouver in October. If you want to make a trek over there, I'll be there for a week. For training.
To Vancouver. That is like a 12-hour drive.
But
Well,
still home turf, so...
Yeah, it's still Canada. You don't have to go through customs like I will.
Yeah, I guess. Are customs really bad for you guys? I guess the TSA is kind of shitty.
No, I'm white and I'm American. What are they gonna do? They're just like, hey, go through. They give me me the keys to Canada as soon as I walk through the door. You know?
Yeah, I guess, right?
No, the last time I went to Canada, I literally just walked right through, and nobody even looked funny at me. And so, you know, I don't know how it is now. I had more trouble getting through Canada than I did through Manila, and that was nothing, right? I mean, so I don't know what the deal is with TSA and customs and all that stuff.
Yeah. I don't like the TSA very much.
Have you had weird invasive pat-downs, or...?
Yeah, I haven't had the pat-down by the TSA, though. I have by our guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's fun, right? Because then you start making comments while they're doing it. You know, like if they're patting you down, you say a little to the left, a little down, a little to down, right? And make them uncomfortable because they're making you uncomfortable. That's how I do it.
Keep going. I'm almost there.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, thanks.
I think you missed a spot. That's what you tell them. I think you missed a spot, right? The taint. You missed the taint.
I think you missed a spot, then you spread your legs a little wider.
Yeah. And then you go, you sure you don't want to take this to the back? And that normally gets you right through.
Oh, Lord.
Listen, I worked, funny little known fact, I was a flight attendant for like 6 months. And, you know, and it's so funny, these people, you hear these stories. I did it back in before 9/11, right? So it was much more laid back then. But even then, you know, it was still these things. But you always hear these people, and it's never as bad as anybody's ever said, right? They don't do cavity searches on people. You know, it just doesn't happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be funny if they did. Yeah. I mean, that would make it much better, but they don't, right? Because it's stupid. If they were really that worried about you, they'd run your ass through an X-ray machine, dose you with a lot of radiation, and then send you on your way. They're not gonna take some, you know, 80-year-old lady who can't see, you know, 3 feet in front of her and tell her to, you know, bend over. That just isn't how this happens. But I digress. That was my experience when I was in the whole world of airlines and security and all that.
Well, now here, I know it was a big deal when we got it. Our city got one of those full body scanners that can, like, pretty much go layer by layer, so people could essentially, like, take your clothes off while you're in it. And,
Is it like
see
Total Recall?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know
Get your
how
ass
they
to
do.
Maz.
Yeah, exactly. So, Total Recall remake, right?
Oh my God.
Anyone excited?
I am.
Like, really?
Really?
Yeah. Just
Why are you excited, Nathan?
Just because I felt that story probably should be a little more serious, and I'm hoping that's the direction they're going in. And I thought Colin Farrell was pretty good in Fright Night.
I'm the opposite way. I don't like Colin Farrell, and I think that
Did you see Fright Night?
I did, and he was okay in that, but yeah. Everything else. Name another thing he's been okay in.
In Bruges.
You're wrong.
What?
Dude, In Bruges was cool, man. I'll
That's
give
a
you
good
that.
movie.
In Bruges was a good, I thought that was a good movie, and I liked him in SWAT. I don't know why I liked that movie so much, but you know how everybody has that stupid movie that they just love. I really loved SWAT. I thought that he was pretty good, well, who's that guy who was his counterpart in that movie?
Samuel Jackson?
No.
Like,
He's famous
Jeremy
now.
Renner's the bad guy.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. Gamble. Yeah. That was his name in the movie, Gamble. Like the original there. I thought he was good in that. And In Bruges was freaking phenomenal, in my opinion.
Man, I haven't seen SWAT in a long time now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember Jeremy Renner gets his head cut off by a train, but that's about it. Oh, and he snipes a helicopter from like 8 miles away.
Yeah, it's real life, son. That's what that is.
It was all right. Is Michelle Rodriguez in that?
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
That
was probably the only bad part because they had that weird sexual tension between her and what's his name?
Cool J.
No. Everybody has sexual tension towards LL Cool J. No, between what's his name, Colin Farrell and Michelle Rodriguez, but they like, you want to come back to my place? And he's
No
like,
chemistry,
yeah. She's like, tomorrow for my kid's birthday. And he's like, oh, right. It was weird. It just didn't make any sense to me.
Okay. I haven't seen that in nearly a decade, so maybe I'll watch it again. I don't know. Wait, now it's weird. Jeremy Renner and Samuel Jackson totally worked together before. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Now they're on a team.
Their Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was in Hurt Locker, right? I never saw it. I'm not a fan of those types of movies, but he's kind of made this weird transition. Did you go see it, Paul?
I didn't mind Hurt Locker, actually. It was like I own it because it was, I think, $1 in one of those DVD bins.
Right.
So, or like Blockbuster sale or something.
Not the Blockbuster sale, but I go to pawn shops a lot when I want to watch a DVD because they're dumb cheap there.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and I hadn't seen it, so I picked it up and laying there, just kind of chilling in my own house, being able to pause it whenever I want. It's pretty good.
Okay. Best Picture though. I'm not.
Yeah, no. What was it up against again?
I guess everyone was like Avatar was the front runner, but A Serious Man was nominated, and I like that movie.
A Serious Man should have won that between those three.
Although that had no chance of winning. I was actually just happy it was nominated, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, wait.
But the Avengers was pretty good, right?
Wouldn't know.
Right, Nathan? Nathan? Pretty good, right?
Why? We already went over this at length. I didn't like Loki very much, and it ruined everything. But
who was Loki in the movie? Who played Loki?
Tom Hiddleston, and he's fine. It's just the character and all of the Thor related stuff. I just couldn't get over how.
Basically, Nathan doesn't like comic books, so a comic book movie.
We kind of determined that might be part of the problem. I don't know.
The question was, didn't they have Fing Fang Foom in that?
No, but there's talk of him for Iron Man 3. So
this is what they do, man. They take these movies like Avengers, right? And there were so many storylines that you could have done with Avengers, right? So many cool storylines that would have worked in the theater realm. Yet they choose to go to do part 2. It's actually Thor part 2, right? I mean,
I thought it was Thor part 2, but it also has aliens in it, which was okay for most people. But
Thor, out of all of those movies, out of Iron Man, Captain America, The Incredible Hulk, Thor, in my opinion, was the worst of the 4.
Easily.
In terms of just the pure movie, right?
Yeah.
The character of Thor I thought was spot on, but the movie itself just sucked. I mean, it just wasn't what I expected for a movie for Thor. So you take the worst movie and then you implement part 2 of it in what should be easily the best movie ever made. Right? I mean,
like
Avengers,
what all of them have been building towards, yeah.
Yeah, and no, it was, and it was just like, it's just dumb. It's like, okay, we all build towards Thor. Is Thor your franchise? I thought Iron Man was your franchise.
What was your favorite of the Avengers, the separate movies?
Mine was Iron Man.
I think Cap for me. So I was kind of hoping Red
Cap
Skull
for
would be
me
back.
too.
But
Iron Man 1, Captain America, and then Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk with Jim Norton, and then Thor, and then The Incredible Hulk with Eric Bana.
Jim Norton?
Not Jim Norton. Yes, Jim Norton. Ed Norton.
Ed Norton, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Norton. The creepy dude from Howard Stern show. Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
No, Ed Norton. Yeah, that was. I personally thought that Ed Norton did a fantastic job as the Incredible Hulk. I just didn't think that the story was that great.
Yeah, Liv Tyler and I don't know.
Abomination fight was okay.
I wish they just in the Ang Lee one he can jump really far, and in this one he can't, and that just bothered me. I don't know.
Well, that's what the Hulk does, right? That's how he gets around. He jumps for miles.
Yeah,
I mean,
which
he is the single
I guess some
most
people think
powerful
looks
thing
silly,
on
but-
Earth. No, yeah, I mean, again, they have to make these movies for television, and I wish that they wouldn't. You know what I mean? I wish that they would just say, hey, you know what? Incredible Hulk can jump 10 miles, right? Incredible Hulk pummels people and he never gets hurt. No, but they have to make this.
They tap into some of that in Avengers, which was probably my favorite part of it, is what they did with Hulk. But
Yeah, I really like what they did with Hulk in Avengers. It's about time.
Mark Ruffalo. His brother's dead. Just saying.
What?
Yeah.
In real life?
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo's brother's dead.
Did it happen recently, or?
Nah, it happened like 4 or 5 years ago. He was an actor too.
Oh, okay.
And he'd been in some pretty big movies. Mark Ruffalo's brother. Dead. Ruled a homicide. Scott Ruffalo. That was his name.
Okay.
What was he in?
He was in...
Now I'm just thinking of Chris Penn.
Dude, I love Chris Penn.
He was good, and now he's gone.
Yep. He was he was one of those guys that it was just tragic. You know, I mean, he hadn't done anything, unfortunately, like anything of merit other than maybe
Like Reservoir Dogs.
Well, Reservoir Dogs, the first Best of the Best. You know, he was in one of my little guilty pleasures, Fist of the North Star, the live action with Gary Daniels.
Yeah,
But
I've been meaning to see that. John just keeps raving about it, so...
That's one of those movies that, you know, you don't go... I mean, it has Gary Daniels, who's one of my favorite, like, martial artist types of actors, and it's got Costas Mandylor, who's just one of those guys who's been on a lot of stuff but has never been, you know, never been really popular. He's just always like that guy they throw in a movie. They're like, yeah, people know who he is, right?
Right.
So, sorry about that. Yeah, but that movie. I remember seeing that movie back in, I think it came out in '97. And did you ever watch the cartoons?
No.
No, I haven't. I'm told they're great, but...
Well, the cartoons are so much better than the movie, but the cartoons are really pretty outstanding, and the movie kind of holds true. You got to check it out. It is on. I don't know if it's on Netflix CA.
It
but
is.
It is.
It's on Netflix up here.
Yeah, check it out. It's I've seen it like, I don't know, 10 or 20 times.
Okay. Malcolm McDowell's in it, apparently, so that works out.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And Downtown, Julie Brown.
Yep.
So besides Avengers, you saw X-Men, hey Nathan?
Yeah, I decided to give that another try.
And what did you think?
I think I liked it more than when I saw it the first time.
Okay, because I didn't like it in theaters, like, very much at all. I found it boring.
At all? Because, like, even then I was like, Magneto's pretty great.
Magneto is what makes that movie great.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about First Class?
First Class.
First Class.
Yeah, that guy did a fantastic job as playing Magneto.
Michael
Right, I mean-
Fassbender, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw him, I was a little skeptical, but then the scene where he's in the bar and he's trying to find out some information of where Kevin Bacon's character is, and he shoots the guy, that was like, okay, I'm hooked. This is what I want to see. This is what we expect to see from Magneto, which is just badassery.
And then it goes to a bunch of them just talking about how crappy it is being a mutant, and they're just talking. So that's great.
What?
I get what you're saying. He's talking about it was a little slow, right?
Yeah, just a bit.
It was an origin story, right? It was an actual, like, the ultimate origin story. I gotta tell you, the funniest line in that movie was when they walk up to Wolverine and he's like, "Fuck off,"
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That was a nice little moment.
I love when they do that.
There's a
kind of
bunch
stuff.
of missiles at the end. The Cuban Missile Crisis was all about mutants, as it turns out. I like it when they retcon history like that. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Michael Ironside was there.
Oh God, man, I'm in love with Michael Ironside. I've loved that dude since Scanners, and I'll
yeah.
continue to follow him in whatever he does. You know, I'll watch it. I don't give a shit if he does Barney, right? I'm gonna watch it because it's Michael Ironside. You know, I mean, the guy is he's one of those guys. He's the voice of Sam Fisher in the video games. He was in, umpteen movies. I mean, we can forget about Highlander.
Like, the Total Recall remake does not have Michael Ironside, so that's a mark against it. But Bryan Cranston.
But he was in Starship Troopers, Ratchet's Roughneck.
He has one arm.
One arm. He was in obviously Total Recall. He was Richter, right? Richter in Total Recall. See you at the party, Richter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scanners, which was, I don't know if you've seen it. The other guy in Scanners sucks
Canadian
ass.
classic up here, David Cronenberg.
Yeah, great. That's one of, Scanners 2, whatever, shit. Scanners 1, awesome.
It's almost about mutants in a weird... It's, like, kind of similar plot-wise. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
To X-Men stuff. You can make parallels to X-Men if you want. I should probably write an essay or something. But anyway.
Scanners, have parallelism between Scanners and X-Men?
Kinda. Just,
I think you should.
This minority group that's kind of, not trusted and they're feared and whatever, but some of them can be good.
Well, to be fair, Michael Ironside did pop the dude's head like a zit.
He did.
For no reason.
He was angry, I don't know.
Because he can, that's reason enough.
Because he can, that's all that matters. Yeah, Michael Ironside is one of those actors who, he never really gets the big parts, but he always gets a part where you go, hey, I know that guy.
That dude's a badass.
Yeah, that guy's badass. I mean, it solidified it for me. It was really Starship Troopers, right? Because he really that was pretty badass. Him showing up, Ratchet's Roughnecks, hoorah,
You retreat, I'll kill you myself.
Yeah, everyone fights, no one quits. Freaking Ratchet. Yeah, Michael Ironside. I mean, we can forget about Highlander 2, right? Was that the one with they were in space and flying on the little magic carpets and, even though he was badass in it, it was still shit, unfortunately.
I've never really delved into the Highlander anything, so...
You could probably just watch the first one and then never watch anything with Highlander in the title again.
Well,
really?
Hold on.
I heard the series was kind of okay, but...
The series was really good. Adrian Paul did a really good job in the series. And sorry, my dogs are going crazy. I got 4 of them. What can you do? Adrian Paul, who was the lead actor from the series, they did the crossover and they did Endgame, which actually brought Adrian Paul and Christopher Lambert together in the final battle. Now, they did another movie after the end of another sequel to Endgame, but we don't consider that one because that one was just shit and it was weird and nobody understood it. But Endgame was actually pretty good, and it kind of wrapped everything up in a nice little bundle with Duncan MacLeod and Connor MacLeod coming together to fight at the end. If you get a chance, it's actually not a bad movie. It's not going to win any Emmys or Oscars, but it's not a bad movie. And Adrian Paul, he's really quite good in the movie.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm letting my nerd shine here. I apologize.
It works.
I guess just briefly back on X-Men. I guess I think it's probably just Fassbender's rise in popularity that made me want to see it again. I'm looking forward to Prometheus quite a bit.
Hell yeah!
When does that come out?
June something. Not soon enough.
First week of
No, I don't think it's that early.
Is that Charlize Theron in that?
Yeah, Ridley Scott returning to the Alien universe.
Where he should be.
Yep.
June 1st. I have June 1st.
Here in Canada.
Oh, in the U.S. it's June 1st, it looks like. Oh,
okay,
no, June 1st in the
I thought.
United Kingdom and June 8th in U.S. and CA.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So, day after E3, Prometheus.
Yeah.
Great.
That's one I'm looking forward to, is actually seeing Prometheus. That one and the one with, what's the one with Guy Pearce that just came out last month? Yeah.
That's not bad.
It looks fun.
Space Jail. They do right by that premise.
I think you were talking about that about 2 episodes ago, Nathan.
Yeah, I went and saw it. It was...
Well, outside of Memento, you know what else Guy Pearce did, right?
LA Confidential is where I like him, but...
Yeah.
His first big role, and probably the role he's probably known best for in, say, San Francisco, is
Adventures of Priscilla.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. You gotta tell you, it's one of the funniest movies I've seen. It also has Hugo Weaving, is that the guy's name? Matrix dude?
Yep.
And Terrence Stamp as a transvestite. Who could have thought that would happen?
Yeah.
General
That's pretty
Zod.
It
Right.
plays off his tough guy thing pretty well.
The whole
pretty
movie.
fun.
He does. The whole movie is really quite well done. I've seen it. I saw it back. Came out in '93, I think, '94. I saw it probably in
94,
'95.
Yeah.
What year?
94.
Yeah, I'm always a year off on my dates for movies, but yeah, he was in that, and he was the funniest part of that movie because he was just like this flagrant, jazz fingers, excitable, homosexual dude who dresses up as a woman, and he just didn't take shit from anybody. But that's where I first saw him, and then he did Memento, which I trust you to have seen Memento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily one of the best movies to come out in the '90s. I think it was early 2000s. And that movie just flipped that whole indie type of genre movie on its head, because it was like, hey, I'm going to show you a movie, but I'm going to show it to you from one direction to the other, and it's not the one you normally think of. And this guy's got this stupid memory loss, and you're like watching and you're playing along with him, and you're like, every time they go back, you're like, holy shit, and he just keeps going. I thought that was so cool. My mom and I used to watch that movie quite a bit. She really loved it.
Yeah. I mean, Christopher Nolan, I think it's pretty controversial to say that he's pretty okay.
He's pretty good at his job. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
he knows how to do film, I guess.
Have either of you seen The Following, his first feature film?
No, I haven't.
The Following. Hold on.
It's like
Following.
black
Did he
and
direct
white.
it, or did he just write it?
No, he directed it in '98.
Okay.
I quite like it. It's just kind of a weird meditation on like people that break into houses and stuff, but not necessarily steal things. They just kind of invade people's lives.
I haven't seen that.
Huh.
I'll have to check it and see if it's on Netflix. I'll watch it if it's on Netflix.
But yeah, The Dark Knight Rises coming out soon.
Yeah.
That trailer underwhelms me a lot.
I just don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They do have it on Netflix. Oh, popped it into my Insta queue, fellas. Follow.
Okay.
Of course you have it on Netflix. You're in the U.S.
That's right. The thing about... I could say I love the Batman series, the Dark Knight series. It's been quite good.
Mm-hmm.
But Bane, the character of Bane, has to be done a certain way,
Yep.
right? You can't just hire some bodybuilder or Arnold Schwarzenegger type guy and say, okay, you're Bane because you have big muscles. In the comic books, Bane is such an exaggeration of a muscle head. I mean, he's a giant. His his shoulder is twice the size of Batman's head. I mean, in the comic books, he breaks Batman's back. Lifts him over his head and snaps his back. And what I see in the movie is that they basically did what I said. They said, "Hey, you're a big dude with muscles. You're going to be Bane."
It is Tom Hardy, and he's like, if you've seen Bronson, it's actually by the director who did Drive last year, Nicholas Winding Refn or whatever. It's like just a big muscle, muscly prisoner guy who actually existed,
Right.
still exists actually, but. Is it just his stature? Like he's too short and too British or something to make it work? Or
he's not exaggerated, right? I mean, when I say big, I mean Bane is like
8 feet tall.
8 feet tall, and he's like muscles, and his neck, like in the comic books, his neck goes from the top of his ears to his shoulders, right? I mean, he's just a big old mass of muscle, and I'm sure that this guy that they have playing Bane is a big dude, but you have to suspend reality enough to see this guy and say, hey, this guy could pick up Batman and throw him around like he's nothing.
Yeah, like they definitely they have to cram stuff into Nolan's universe, which is a lot more grounded in reality. So it's a weird fit. It's an odd choice. I was saying maybe the only reason they chose him is just because he does have that history of totally breaking Batman's back. So maybe they'll do something to that extent. I'm thinking if it's the end of the trilogy, there's a small possibility Batman might actually die in this movie, which would be really crazy.
Well, you can't kill Batman. You don't kill him, but you break his back, right? You force him into retirement. That's how this movie ends. That's how this movie ends. Bane breaks his back, and
So
then
he
they have to
nails
bring
it away,
in, young Dick Grayson to be the new Batman.
Yeah, great.
No,
Right?
I don't know if they'll do that.
Robin,
The whole city rises up.
played
I
by
don't know.
who shit, I missed it. What's his name? Played by
Joseph Gordon.
Chris O'Donnell. Yeah, that's right.
Well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in the movie, and I'm not sure why. Like they have to be doing something with him, right?
Weren't they saying or speculating he'd be Falcone's son?
That was early, but now it's just like he's a cop or something. I'm not sure why they have a big actor like that.
Hold on. He's in the movie because he's like the belle of the ball right now, right? Ever since he did 500 Days of Summer, he's just been like, people have been like, oh my God, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And I'm like, dude, I still remember when he was on Third Rock from the Sun, so shut up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the guy does one movie, and then he was in Inception, which was, don't hate me for this, but I really didn't care for Inception. I thought it was a cool concept. John Blake is his name. That's who he is in the movie. He's a beat cop who is secretly, I'm going to ruin this for you, helping Batman to bring down the supervillain known as Bane.
Go figure.
Okay.
Right? I thought Inception was just kind of, well, I'm not a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio to begin with, but you throw at the top of that over-the-top graphics and some weird storyline where they log into people's dreams, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's there, and, you know, I just expected him to bring, you know, what's his name? Crap, I can think of his name. The dad from Third Rock from the Sun. And
John Lithgow.
Lithgow.
That would have been a sweet movie.
That would have made the movie better.
I liked Inception, but yeah, I felt maybe its reputation was a bit overstated. It's okay. I watched it once.
What is it with Leonardo DiCaprio doing nothing but these epic movies? Right?
Don't ask me. I'm not a huge fan of him.
I quite like him, but it's he doesn't always do. Like, is Shutter Island an epic movie? He's just a guy
it had
crazy.
The verge of being. It was a drama, right? I mean, it was one of those. You know, in my opinion, the best movie that I've seen him in was Catch Me If You Can and Gang Wars Was it Gang Wars? What was the one with Gangs of New York? Yeah. Catch Me If You Can was good because it was a comedy. I mean, it was a dramedy. I think that's what they call it, but it was good because he was playing kind of a funny guy. Mm-hmm. But I'm tired of seeing like him and Kevin Costner do these like epic roles where it's like, look at me, I'm an 80-year-old baseball pitcher who delivers mail in the old West, and then I ride donkeys with buffaloes and Indians, right?
Okay.
I want to
like
see
he's
Bull
the bad
Durham.
guy in Django Unchained, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too.
See him try something quite different for size. Could work out.
Every time I see Leo, I think of that retarded little kid in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, so whatever.
Oh, I thought you were going to go in... shit, man, I'm off my game tonight. What was the Kirk Cameron vehicle, the show?
James Cameron or Kirk Cameron?
No, Kirk Cameron. What was the show that Leonardo DiCaprio was in with him in the late 80s? Growing Pains. That's when you said stupid little retarded kid. I was thinking, what? His character in Growing Pains, right? With Kirk Cameron and Alan Thicke, and you guys don't get that up there in Canada?
I haven't.
Oh, yeah, Growing Pains. I looked up a picture. I remember this show.
That's where he got his start, was in that stupid show. He was adopted.
Yeah, Kirk Cameron right there. Also, Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke, man. Boy, have you seen his son, Robin Thicke?
No.
So his son comes out of nowhere as this like contemporary musician, and he's actually quite well known. And I got to tell you, some of his music is like pretty impressive. I mean, like, you know, you want to get down with your girl type of music, but it's still pretty impressive. You just put it on. It's like some like jazz type of stuff, but he came out of nowhere, and he used to rock this stupid pedo mustache, but he got rid of it finally. But sorry, side story. I digress. But yeah, that's
apparently
where Leonardo
a song of his was in Despicable Me. So there you go.
Oh, Robin Thicke.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen Despicable Me.
I didn't think it was that good, but I don't know. Do you like supervillains a lot?
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Steve Carell doing a weird accent?
I don't like Steve Carell.
Oh, don't watch it then.
Okay.
Steve Carell. Don't get me started on Steve Carell. Dude had a sweet gig, right? The Office. He was awesome in The Office, in my opinion, right? He was great in The Office. That role fit him. Stupid guy, not a whole lot of substance, you know, comes off looking like an asshat every day. Perfect role for Steve Carell. And then he's like, I'm too famous. I'm going to go make Dinner Date with the chick from Saturday Night Live.
Hey. Don't speak ill of Tina Fey.
I'm not speaking ill of Tina Fey. I don't have a problem with Tina Fey. I just have a problem with him doing subpar movies because he thought that he was going to be some big actor. And what did he do? not Bruce Almighty, but what was the second one?
Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty, right? It's like, dude, you were known because you were funny in a show, right? Be in the show. Don't bail on the show because you think you're going to be some Oscar-worthy actor.
He was okay in Anchorman.
Well,
Right, because Anchorman was great. Don't even start on Anchorman. That was like one of my favorite top 10s right there. What's you guys' number one movie of all time?
Inception.
I'm going to punch you in the throat, Paul. I'm going
Rise
to
of
chest
Planet of the
punch
Apes
you.
is up there. It's right
Rise
up
of
there.
Planet of the Apes?
I love that movie.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul?
Oh, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, probably.
Yes, that's great. Both of those, I haven't seen Rise, but if I'll catch it. It should be out now, right?
Oh yeah,
It
it's
should
out.
be-
Yep.
Yeah. I'll catch it. Scott Pilgrim, hands down, one of the best comic book, cartoon, whatever you want to call it, movies ever made. They did it exactly how I would have done it, which is make it exactly like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys gotta check out Army of Darkness.
I
I've
love
seen it.
Army of Darkness. That's
My
one of
favorite movie of
That's
all time.
probably my favorite Bruce Campbell movie for sure.
More than
Bubba
Evil
Hotep
Dead
was
2?
pretty good.
So I like Evil Dead 2. But
Army of
okay.
Darkness was more campy than Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 is great. You know, I actually have an autographed Evil Dead 2 script from Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. Just side note, just rubbing that in there, fellas. But
Yeah,
Evil Dead
that's-
2 was the remake of Evil Dead 1,
Yeah.
which I personally thought Evil Dead 1 was better because
Yeah,
okay.
it was more grittier and more. You know, they made that movie, I guess, on a budget of about $150,000 in North Carolina, and
Yep.
I just thought that it was, you know, for $150,000, the movie was outstanding. Even though you can see the lines and stuff, and the K-Rose syrup with red dye number 5 in it, you know.
Yeah, so
Bruce-
basically Evil Dead 1 was kind of like their serious take on a horror movie type idea. Evil Dead 2 was a remake of Evil Dead 1 with more satire, I guess. Like it was
Yeah, they had
more
like
There's a
a-
comedic.
hand crawling around.
Yeah, like
they
it was
had $1 million on that one, I think, to film it or something.
and
like
it was
that.
they made it funnier. And then
Yeah.
Evil Dead 3 or Army of Darkness is just pure slapstick comedy and it's great.
Yeah, it really was just to let Bruce Campbell be Bruce Campbell. You know, the whole, you know, this is my boomstick. It's a Cobalt Blue Steel made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's retails for about $129.95. Shop smart, shop S smart. You don't make that shit up, right? I mean, that just when he delivers that line to those people in that movie, that is just pure, you know, it's just slapstick comedy. It's
Please tell me that line is just always in your brain and you weren't reading it.
It's always in my brain.
Excellent.
Right, I've seen the movie about 95 times. I've got every copy of it. One of these days when we're not on the podcast, I'll give you a tour of my basement. You can see all the stuff that I have, Army of Darkness flavor. Actually, for my graduation, my buddy had a comic book artist draw me a custom painting of Bruce Campbell with the chainsaw in his arm fighting off the zombies.
That's
right,
pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, I have
huge.
I have an Army of Darkness shirt I've had since I was like in grade 9 that still fits, so that's kind of cool, I guess.
That's either kind of cool or kind of sad. I'm just saying.
Kind of cool, I think.
Just saying. That is cool, right? I mean, I don't know why I like that movie so much. You know, I mean, I've
Did
seen.
you try the video games?
Yes,
Are those like I heard the latest one was actually okay.
I haven't tried the latest one. I mean, the last one I saw was on PS2. I haven't really.
Was that Hail
the
to
video
the
games
King?
have.
Oh no, these are several years ago, but yeah, it was the one after Hail to the King, I guess.
They were okay, right? I mean, it's just I don't
They're
want
like
anything
budget
to
titles.
taint. I don't want anything to taint my Army of Darkness. You understand? I want. To me, Army of Darkness is pure.
Mhm.
I don't need the alternate endings.
Which is an alternate ending? Because the one I saw is him waking up in the future and he missed it. Is that one of the alternates? That's not how it's supposed to go?
That is originally Sam Raimi wanted that ending, but when he tested it, they were all butthurt, right?
Like, it's too depressing.
Yeah, so that's
But
why
then they do
ended
it in Captain America.
They
Kind
do
of,
it-
yeah. He
they
missed
do it
his whole life. Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
a date, and now she's dead for like 50 years.
No, she's not dead. She's like 85.
He should have still dated her. I mean, if he really loved her, age wouldn't have
Yeah,
mattered, right?
geez.
Am I right?
True.
Instead of being like, oh, your daughter. I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe.
they could have tried to have kids, maybe form a life for a couple years until she kicked the bucket. You know, I mean, if
which
it
is
really,
like 2 years.
Yeah,
if
it's
he
not a
really
big
loved her,
commitment
he
for
would have
him.
made love to her old wrinkly ass, right? I mean, that's just how it works.
That's how I would have done it.
Well, they cut half hour out of the movie, so that might be in there.
No, that was him rolling our boobies up off the ground. Everything else was caught in there.
Great. Put it on film, send it out.
Yeah, you know,
Like-
he's like, here, can I touch those? And he picks them up off the ground and lifts them up to her face. These are nice. Tasty. Isn't that an image?
Man.
Chris
That's a
Evans.
great image.
So gross. So bad.
Okay, how many alternate endings to Army of Darkness are there? Because I've seen 2 that
There's only two alternate endings to Army of Darkness.
So it's him waking up in the future and him battling another zombie in S-Mart?
Yeah.
Or Deadite, sorry.
Deadite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said your damn words. I love that. Or most of it. That Klaatu Barada Nikto from, what is it? The Planet. That's the stupid movie that they remade with Keanu Reeves. That's where that line is from. The one he has to say.
Oh,
Day the Earth Stood Still?
Day the Earth
Yeah,
Stood
that
Still.
line, Klaatu Barada Nikto, is from Day the Earth Stood Still.
Nah.
And that's why he says it. That was Sam Raimi's like little shout out to the director who directed that. I can't think of who it is at this time, but that's what that's from, and that's why it was so funny that he couldn't say it. You know, he kept, I said your damn words. Well, most of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good movie.
Pretty great movie.
So
Pretty great movie.
Super bad, I guess, Nathan?
Well, there's another way we could go. Speaking of the remake, Day the Earth Stood Still, John Hamm was in that as a scientist.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
John Hamm's great.
John Hamm's pretty great. Briefly, I listened to a couple Nerdist podcasts with John Hamm on them, and he's great, and Mad Men's great. So watch that show. I don't know.
Mad Men. I haven't watched Mad Men. I've been so, you know,
It's pretty good. It steadily gets better.
They have all these shows out now that are just fantastic, right? I mean, you've got Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad.
Cable
now you have The
programming is
Walking
going
Dead.
crazy, yeah.
Game of Thrones, Spartacus. Did you guys see Spartacus?
No, I haven't
No,
seen that
I
yet.
heard it was pretty good. I'm trying to think what else is going on. There's, wait,
Community.
Community, but that's like regular.
Yeah, regular
broadcast
TV.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Community's okay. I mean, I'm a fan of what's his name, the main guy in Community,
Joel McHale?
Joel McHale. I like him. I'm not a fan of Chevy Chase.
Yes,
Isn't he-
thank you. I hate
Isn't
Chevy
he
Chase.
one of yours?
He's
Isn't he
kind
from
of
Canada?
hurting that show a little bit, yeah. At this point,
Is he Canadian? I don't know.
I think he's Canadian.
That would explain
Chevy
why I
Chase
don't
is
like him.
Canadian.
I
Weird.
thought he was. Maybe I know Dan Aykroyd's Canadian, but I thought Chevy Chase was as well. He might not be. Don't quote me or quote me.
No.
Okay.
He's
from
American.
New
Okay,
York.
he was born in a prominent New York family, which tells me why he thinks he's so above everybody. It's like, dude, you were fucking Fletch, right? Fletch.
Yeah.
That's what you've done. The Invisible Man. You haven't been famous since 1986, when the Three Amigos came out.
Well, I mean,
Christmas Vacation
the
was
vacation
pretty good.
movies did all right, I guess.
Christmas Vacation was
Christmas
alright.
Vacation, and the first one. The second one was shit.
European,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, who cares? Although I remember when I was a kid watching that and seeing boobies for the first time.
That's
was
pretty
like-
good.
In European.
Rewind, yeah. When they
Okay.
go into the French, like, what do they call it, bordello or whatever it's called, and the girls are dancing.
Oh, okay.
Rusty's in there, you know, and he's watching the girls with the naked ladies dance because there's a hole in the wall kind of thing. So, yeah, I remember seeing that, and I remember thinking Beverly D'Angelo was just like the hottest MILF ever. That was even before the word MILF came out.
Yeah.
You know, it was D'Angelo I liked to bone. You know, I mean, she was
Yeah.
so smoking
She just
hot
has
in
a
those movies.
superfluous shower scene in the first movie, so they knew they were
Yeah.
playing to that chord or whatever. That's yeah.
I think the
She's-
first movie I saw with tits was Mallrats.
Mallrats.
3, like
Banksy.
Well,
was Banksy?
Because
that
I was
Banksy?
9 or 10, right? So,
Oh, man, that would have made me 15, 16, something like that.
something like that, yeah.
I like when he sticks his hands down his pants, the stink hand or whatever.
Yeah,
And he shakes that dude's hand.
Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker, and he talked about that at the panel up here.
He
that
did,
was
huh?
great. Yeah, that came up, and he thought it was funny.
I saw Chasing Amy in the theaters. I thought Chasing Amy was a great movie.
It was. It's his best movie.
Yeah, I didn't, you know, like a couple of those Kevin Smith movies I didn't really care for. I didn't really care for Dogma. I just didn't think it was that funny. I thought he was trying too much to go for the anti-religion statement.
It had a real good background though, I guess. Like the story behind it was pretty good. I don't think it was executed great.
Like, is there a good commentary track on that one then, or?
No, like all their commentary tracks are basically just them like saying one thing about the movie and then talking about random stuff. So
yeah, okay. No, I mean you really got to go with Chasing Amy, Mallrats,
Clerks, and Jersey Girl is actually surprisingly good.
And Jersey Girl's okay. Clerks obviously kind of like started the whole thing, and then it was Chasing Amy. For me, it probably goes Chasing Amy, Clerks, and then Mallrats in that order. As far as my top three.
Yep. I could see that. Did you see Clerks too?
Yeah, it was okay.
It was not bad.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't as good because it wasn't shot like a low budget, one shot type of movie that I felt that Clerks was, right? Where it's just single shot. And I know it wasn't. It was multiple shots, but it felt single shot. It was like they did this big movie and you just kind of felt that one, it was shot for $8 with somebody's recorder, with somebody's VHS recorder, and two, the cast just really cared about the movie. They just really, Jay and Silent Bob were in there, and I thought Clerks 1 was just well made and worth watching. Every time you watch it, it's one of those movies you can just sit down and watch and just watch and watch and watch again. Clerks 2 was just fun, the thought of it was just more language and better crowd of people. That's all it was.
Yep.
That Lord of the Rings discussion's pretty good. But
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that is.
The War of the Trilogies.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to break that movie out and watch it again.
You guys, other cable series. I guess I was thinking of Justified. Should I watch that?
Yes, Timothy Oliphant. Timothy Oliphant. He's an underappreciated actor. I mean, he's a guy that has been in a lot of movies, and he just has never really hit his stride. Like, for some reason, he's never gotten these big parts.
Other than Gone in 60 Seconds, pretty good.
I liked him in The Crazies, but...
Yeah, he was good in that.
Don't ever use Gone in 60 Seconds as a Timothy Oliphant vehicle. Right? That's,
is he in that?
Yes.
Yep, he's one of the cops.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the cops. Don't you ever talk about my wife. I love that. Just the angry... they took the character of, was it Riggs from Lethal Weapon, and just transplanted into Delroy Lindo and said, now you're chasing, Aldo Raines, whatever his name is. And then they added Timothy Oliphant for a sidekick. And Timothy Oliphant, he only has a small bit part. But I liked him in Hitman. I thought he was good in Hitman. He was awesome in Go as the drug dealer.
Yeah, he was pretty good in Go.
Yeah, he was awesome in Go. I mean, that's where you first get exposure to Timothy Oliphant is in Go, when he's him and Katie Holmes are trying to hook up, and he's stealing drugs, and I just thought he was really good. And that's the first time I ever saw him. I've seen a lot of movies, guys.
Yep.
I guess, okay, we can move on to the commentary thing I did. I watched Superbad and Walk Hard back-to-back with commentaries, because I wanted to do that.
Who's the commentary on Superbad?
Oh, there's if there's any problem, it's too many people. I forget who all is there.
So it's the whole cast and production crew?
Well, it's Michael Cera, Jonah Hill, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Greg Matola's there, Judd Apatow's there.
All on one track?
Well, I guess so. They were doing some sort of teleconference or something. Like, some of them are in New York and some of them are in Los Angeles. I guess maybe it was only 5, but I feel like there was maybe the right. Oh, Evan and Seth were there too, so it's 7 people.
Okay.
So a lot of kind of talking over each other and whatever. But it was okay. Just, I don't know. Nothing really stands out as
no Bill Hader
anecdote or anything. No, unfortunately. They talk about I wish he was here, but yeah. I guess I was watching the unrated extended cut or whatever, and they point out which stuff wasn't in the movie, and I guess I only really watched the extended one. I haven't watched
what parts weren't in the movie?
Just little jokes here and there that I wasn't really expecting, just a line from Jules or something, or just this weird, crazy homeless guy has an extra.
That's Emma Stone, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's Emma Stone's big film debut thing. So that's kind of neat to. That's only been 5 years, and now she's everywhere. Gangster Squad coming soon. Have you seen the trailer for that?
I haven't
Anybody?
yet. No.
Okay, it's director of Zombieland, Ruben Fleischer, and it actually looks okay.
Emma
Josh
Stone,
Brolin.
man, she was so ugly in that stupid Girlfriends Past or whatever. With
Oh, with
Matthew
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, she
I
was in
never
it.
watched that.
She's
She's like a
fugly.
ghost or something?
Yes, and she was fugly. I don't know
Okay.
what she did between Ghost of Girlfriends Past and Zombieland, but you find a picture of her, you can see what I'm talking about. Chick was fugly.
All right.
Ghost of Girlfriend. Okay.
I never watched Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, I guess. So.
It's fun.
I guess
it's
just
a fun movie.
briefly, actually, just now that you brought up Matthew McConaughey, William Friedkin has a movie coming out called Killer Joe,
Okay.
and it actually looks pretty awesome. Like it's like NC-17
Yep.
weird killer small town crime thing, and it looks kind of cool. I don't know. That trailer stood out this past week.
Who is it?
Particular.
Is that
Yeah.
Emil Hirsch is in it? Juno Temple, Thomas Hayden Church, Gina Gershon. Nice. I like Gina Gershon.
What's the last thing she's done?
Porno, probably soft porn on Skinamax. Let's
Like,
see.
I'm gonna say Face Off, maybe?
Was she in the L Word?
She was in Sarah Palin Glory Days, the TV show. Nothing I can see that really blew up. She was in Rescue Me, the TV series, for a couple of years.
Oh, I haven't seen
Okay.
that show yet.
She was on Eastbound and Down. Numbers, Life
Wait,
on
which
Mars.
season?
Season 5. Chapter 5, 2009, Realtor. She's done,
Okay.
since Face Off, she's done crap, man. I don't see
Yeah.
anything. She was in the Batman. What the hell is that? Probably the cartoon. Oh, she was Catwoman in the Batman series.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, but you're right. Face Off, pretty much it.
Yeah. So, look for that.
That's a good
I
movie,
guess.
though.
It is pretty good. I mean, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Face Off, available on DVD and Blu-ray.
In stores
So-
now?
Yeah,
Yep,
it just
check it
came out. Just kidding. Since 1997.
Okay, and Walk Hard, which I quite enjoy. That commentary was a little more serious, I guess. I just enjoyed hearing John C. Reilly talk about getting really invested in this fake character, which was pretty great.
And
Walk
Hamm
Hard,
from
the
The
Dewey
Office.
Cox.
Yeah,
Hamm from The Office.
yeah, Jenna Fisher. She wasn't on the commentary, but they talk about her.
She's another one, man. She's another chick that could be hot. I mean, just one iota of trying, and she would be hot. I don't know if she's actually pregnant in this current season of The Office, but she's kind of a fatty. I mean, she just doesn't.
I see.
Okay, I stopped watching The Office like
I
2
did
years
too, so.
ago.
The Office,
I guess I
still
caught part
know.
of the Ed Helms season, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I haven't seen that. It's like The Office, I know Steve Carell hasn't left, so.
Okay.
Ed Helms does a good job of just being kind of the funny boss guy. I mean, really, you watch that show for Jim and Dwight, what those two are going to do to each other.
Or
And that
even
hasn't
just
changed.
Dwight, like when he's doing his monologues, pretty good.
I love the he goes, bears eat beets. Have you seen that? Have you seen
Bears
that one,
beats Battlestar,
Battlestar
Galactica.
Galactica. I know what you're doing, Jim. He's like, impersonation's
pretty
illegal,
good.
Jim. Michael? Yeah. You guys watch Big Bang Theory and all that stuff?
I do watch Big Bang Theory, yeah.
I
So there's
never have.
There's a couple shows out there, and granted, I'm a little older than you guys, but Psych and Big Bang Theory. I like those shows because the jokes that they make, I get. You know, when they make some reference to some obscure 80s cartoon, I get it. When they make some reference to some obscure 80s or early 90s trend, I get it.
But then
And that's
do
what-
you feel
go ahead.
kind of like let down when they have to explain it to everyone that doesn't? Because Big Bang Theory does that a lot, where they'll like make a joke and you'll laugh, but then they'll like explain why it's funny.
Nope, Psych doesn't do that. But Big Bang, I don't really pay attention to Big Bang because, you know, what's
Yeah,
Kelly
because
Kuko,
it's
right?
whatever. Yeah,
It's Kelly Kuko. She's hot.
I guess.
She's hot. But no, Psych never explains. You just assume. You either know it or you don't like the show. Right? You either know what they're saying and you get it and you think it's funny, or you just don't like the show because you're constantly lost in the witty comeback between Dule Hill and Jason Rodan or whatever his name is.
I haven't seen that show.
I think he's Canadian too. If I don't know that they're from the States, they're automatically Canadian.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
I guess on to video game stuff. We briefly talked about Techno Kitten before the show.
Yep, great game.
And I'm embarrassed for you.
It's pretty good. It's got, colorful unicorns in the background stuff
And
weird filters on it.
And a lot of techno.
A lot of techno. Okay, we weren't misreading Kite, right? Like, it's not just the H is kind of weird and it's actually an N and it's it's kitten.
No, I mean, it's been like that on the internet for a while, too. People pronounce it Kite.
Okay.
Techno
Perfect.
Kite.
So it just makes that better.
I guess.
That's like $1.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3, played some multiplayer, because I like that multiplayer. I don't know.
Did you play it on PC or
360.
on Xbox 360?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a quality PC, so...
Hit me up if you want to play it. I've got it on 360. If you want to play sometime, let me know. I think it's I love the multiplayer for it. I thought it was very well done. Lots of cool maps and the whole 4-player. It's really meant to be played with 4 people, which is what I kind of like.
Yeah.
Are they doing any DLC stuff for multiplayer?
Yeah.
Yep, they
more
released
maps
one just like last month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They released a couple new maps. So we should release a couple new maps later on, probably next month, in their season, as it were.
And then I played the first bit of Fez again because Paul didn't want to.
Yeah. So I own Fez now, I guess.
Yeah, good for you. Supporting Phil Fish. Basically apologizing for snubbing him at PAX.
Yeah. So I snubbed Phil Fish at PAX, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoyed that story.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing to remember. It's like, yeah, that dude, I totally walked right past him and his game, even though no one was there, and we shared a moment. Like, we looked in each other's eyes, and I just turned away.
It's like, you want to play the game?
Yeah,
No.
almost like
Walked
begging,
away,
like,
stonewalled him.
Hey, I have a game. You want to come here? It's like, no, just walk away.
Fellow Canadian, and you just said, no, get out of here.
Montreal isn't Canadian.
Well, yeah, Montreal isn't Canadian. They want their own little isolated Earth.
Yeah, I've heard this, but I still want to visit sometime. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll probably visit it at some point.
Last time I was there, we just went to the strip clubs. So
I heard they have some really good strip clubs, though.
Yeah, I flew there a couple of times when I was a flight attendant. That and Toronto, obviously, and some other places.
Yeah.
I guess the big video game plan for the week was Duke Nukem Forever. I've never experienced it, and
Why?
I was told it was $3, but it wasn't $3. So I walked out of that store. $10. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, Duke Nukem Forever, and this is the last time you'll ever hear me speak about this game.
Okay.
Duke Nukem Forever was quite possibly the worst game that has ever been made for any console ever, PC or.
And that's why I need to see it, because I keep hearing that. And it's just
it is so bad. They had 12 years to make an epic game, and basically all they did was reskin Duke Nukem 3D. Like, I did a whole series on it. I actually was going to play through the whole thing and do a playthrough. Yeah, I got about 2 hours in, and after I was 2 hours in. There's a load screen every 10 minutes. So after my whatever that is, 12th load screen, I was like, I'm done with this. Because every time you do something, it gives you a load screen. And it was just horrible. I mean, the multiplayer was shit. The multiplayer was far behind anything of the original Xbox level. I mean, we're talking like original Unreal Engine. You know, the first one, not the new updated one they've had out for the last couple of years, but the first one where it was clunky and things didn't work right. That was the multiplayer for Duke Nukem. That was the game, and it was shit. And I never want to talk about it again.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad game.
You can use whiteboard markers, right? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whiteboard. So, $3.
Register a penis.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I think the criteria we came up with is that wherever you're living, you should be able to give somebody at a store your lowest dollar bill, and then still receive change
and get change back.
And that's how much Duke Nukem's worth. So
and then
for
it's
you
acceptable
guys,
as being like
for the U.S., it would be $1. So I mean, if you could pay somebody and they would give you like 50 cents back, that's probably a good deal for Duke Nukem Forever. For us, it's $5, so $3 is okay.
I would make it a coaster. I mean, that game was such a letdown. And I think we stood in midnight release for that stupid ass game too.
So
Wow.
you paid full price then?
Of course, because I run a YouTube channel, so I always pay full price because I always get it the night it comes out.
Always
Every-
bet
Oh
on you.
man,
Yeah, every hot game that comes out, I get it the night it comes out.
all the hot new jams.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Although-
John get the collector's edition?
Yeah, he did.
So doesn't he have like a bust of Duke somewhere?
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
that's
horrible.
worth
And what
it.
was that, like $90?
$99,
I
I
don't-
think.
That's
Well, I
so
don't know
dumb.
I don't know what it was up in Canada, but I think in the U.S. it wasn't. I think in the U.S. it was like $79.99.
It was probably
Okay.
80 or 90 here. then.
89.99
Yeah.
maybe, or thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Huh.
shit. The
Okay,
whole
we
game
don't-
was shit.
Okay, we don't need to continue talking about it. I guess just
Shit.
I wanted to do that, and it didn't work out. So next
And you
time.
wanted to get a 40.
I did as a partner to that experience, just to
For a
dull it.
picture.
You would
For
probably
a picture, but also just to experience both at the same time because it seemed appropriate. They seemed like a fit, a match.
like a 40 like a drink. Is that what we're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, 40
Yeah.
of beer.
You would need 10 of them. You would need
to
400
dull the pain enough. In order
because
to
you would get
enjoy it.
here's how I would do it. Go buy 10 40s, and every time you get a load screen, drink a 40.
You'd be dead.
Oh no!
It
Yeah,
would literally take you 20 minutes, and you'd be out. You'd be like,
it gives you
done."
enough time to drink it though, because I've heard the load times are extremely long.
Yes, that's
yeah.
If the load times were a couple minutes, a couple seconds, who cares? I mean, it's what we expect on games. But when you get into the 2 to 3
30,
minute
40
range,
seconds, 2 minutes. Okay.
yep,
Yeah,
Even
they
if
were
it's
pretty
installed.
bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it didn't get any better. I remember I rented it, and after the first few load screens, I used the load screens to actually go to the washroom or then grab a drink. They were that bad.
yeah, really
Okay.
bad. Really bad. But let's not talk about that because that game's a downer. It's a bullshit game. You guys make a pact amongst yourselves to never discuss it on this site again because it'll only bring you unhappiness and sadness like it has brought me.
If I ever acquire it, I think I'll have to report my findings. But
Right.
until
but
that day. we'll
until
put
that
a pin in
day,
it.
yes. Worst
Okay.
game ever.
That's kind of all I had. I just feel like I'm gonna go on a monologue if I talk about the music I was listening to. But Comtrue's Hot
Oh.
Chip, they're
What
pretty
was
great.
the movie
Can I-
you were telling me,
Well, before you get that, I want to ask, have you guys seen the new Internet Explorer commercial?
No.
No.
They did it to what's this guy's name? I'm a fan of music. I love any kind of music, right? I don't really care. I don't care what it is. If it's good, I'll listen to it. Well, they had this awesome Internet Explorer commercial. And actually, what am I doing searching it there? Hold on. Internet. I'm looking it up so I can give you the guy who sings it so maybe you guys can check it out.
It's on
And
Alex
it's a dubstep.
Claire.
Yeah. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Alex Clare. Check it out. It's
Okay.
a dubstep. I mean, even though he is a ginger and he's soulless, the song is really good. I mean,
Okay.
the whole commercial, I was really impressed because it is a dubstep, and I was really impressed by the fact that Microsoft finally said, hey, you know what? Let's appeal to the people who are actually going to be buying this shit and try to suck them in with a good soundtrack and a heavy dubstep beat. And it actually, if you get a chance, just check it out on YouTube, the song. You don't have to watch the commercial, but check out the song. It's pretty kick-ass.
Okay.
I will do that right when we're done recording.
As far as Machete Maidens, that was the movie that I watched and I was tweeting you about. Machete Maidens was basically... So, a couple years ago, I spent about 2 or 3 months in the Philippines. I was there, a couple months, came home. Then I went back and I was there when they had the last coup d'etat.
Did
When
you
they tried to
molest a young Filipino boy?
Of course.
Okay. I was going to say you were doing it wrong. If
As
you
is
weren't.
tradition. Like,
As
what are
is
you
tradition.
getting
You
at?
get off the plane and they walk you right to them. But this Machete Maidens movie was based on all of the Grindhouse movies that they did in the late 60s and early 70s in the Philippines. And it was just this really cool story because it was Corman, is that the guy's name? Roger Corman?
Roger Corman.
Not
presumably,
to be confused with Michael Corvin from Underworld, but yeah, it was Roger Corman talking about how he kind of found this like little Filipino director who kind of looks like do you ever watch that show NCIS LA? Do you guys get that up there?
Yeah, but I haven't seen it.
Check out the boss. Her name's Hetty. She's a real famous short little old lady. You would know her. You've probably seen her in a couple of things. But the little Filipino director looks just like her. I just thought, sorry, a little sidetrack, but it was just funny. But they were just talking about how that's where Pam Grier got her start, and Sig Haig, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Sig
Yeah.
Haig.
Yep.
That's where he got his start as well. And
Is in the
they did like
Philippines?
in Roger Corman's movies, in those hack and slash jungle movies. Yeah, that's
Okay.
where he became known. And him and Pam Grier did these movies where she showed her boobies a lot, and he was banging out chicks a lot. And it was just short of porn. That was before porn was, that was before Behind the Red Door or Behind the Green Door or whatever it's called, and Deep Throat and all that stuff. But it was just like, it was very interesting because they did all these movies over there. Then Marcos, the president of the Philippines, put the whole country into like this martial law, but they didn't care about these Americans going over there and filming. So, you have all these people who are under martial law who are living under a dictator, but these Americans are over here and they're filming and they're just, doing whatever they want. And there's social commentary in the movies about the oppression as much as you can have in a titties and guns movie. Mm-hmm. And they, and it was just that whole story and how it kind of faded off and the reasons they stopped filming over there. But it was really good. If you're a fan of Grindhouse type of stuff, that was a really, really interesting, and there's a lot of stuff I didn't know about those movies.
I'll have to check that out for sure.
So it's a documentary?
Yeah,
I guess?
it's a documentary
Okay.
with tons of boobs.
Yep, downloading now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not really, because I've been looking for it, but yeah, we don't have it on Netflix up here, so surprise, surprise.
Of course, it was really, I'm a fan of those. Again, like I said, I'm a fan of that type of stuff. I just watch it, and I'm always interested in learning something new about movies. But it was kind of like, there's another movie called American Grindhouse. I think that's what it's called, or something of that ilk, but not the movie that Quentin Tarantino made, but a documentary about how the Grindhouse movie came to be.
Yep, I watched that.
That was cool, too. A lot of stuff I didn't realize. Like how back in the 40s and 50s, how they were getting away with showing sex on the movie theaters.
Well, yeah, like essentially, if I remember correctly, American Grindhouse goes all the way back to the golden age of cinema. And anything that wasn't Hollywood made was considered Grindhouse, so that's where porn came from eventually, too.
Yeah. Yep. And that's, they say like American Gangster was kind of a Grindhouse movie. It's an,
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, Grindhouse wasn't a term used for like a style or look or anything. It was anything you can see in the major theater in your city.
It also had to do with some exploitation too. If I'm correct, it was a lot of exploit, like
I think
different
it
types
got
of
that way.
exploitation.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
not like
evolved that
just
way
black
because
exploitation.
people were like, well, if no one's going to see this movie because Hollywood won't budget me, I'm going to throw a bunch of weird shit out there. And yeah,
Nazi werewolf hunters. That was an interesting one. Yeah.
Would cat people have been considered like the original 1942?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anything that wasn't like Marlon Brando. I mean, they even threw in. Did you know that they shot Apocalypse Now in the Philippines? And that.
I believe they went into that in Heart of Darkness or whatever. But yeah.
Oh, the documentary. They talk about it
Yeah.
also in the Machete Maidens because it was just it was a show, and like they were talking about some of the scenes where they had dead bodies and whether or not they were real or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was again. Pretty cool documentary. You guys should definitely check out if you get it. And I'll try to see if I can't rip it there, P-Fleck, and give it to you.
All right.
As long as you don't tell the authorities.
Well, the good old Netflix. I don't know. We don't get anything. We also don't get My Little Pony.
That's true. Season 2 available now in the States. So
you guys are weird. No,
yeah. We get a decent amount of stuff. I don't know,
But do we? Like really?
I feel like there's a.
We don't even have a
queue.
queue.
We do. The list system.
Ugh.
At least on PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I guess. I don't.
It's kind of dependent on which app you're using. But,
I don't watch it on PS3 very much anymore.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to send you a link to how to access Netflix in the U.S.?
There's like proxy stuff you can do, right?
Yeah, proxy through a VPN Freedom.
That's what John's been doing, I believe. He's been doing nothing but watching Netflix.
Interesting.
Yeah, you just proxy in. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I think I'll have to.
I guess is that all the media we've consumed?
I mean, besides the like, did you watch the new Community?
No, I have yet to do that.
Okay, so
you
I don't want to spoil
yesterday.
any of that.
Okay, I'll
It's pretty good.
I'll look into it right after we're done here. Well, that might not be 100% true. I'll probably eat some food and whatever.
Aren't you just eating a potato?
Yeah, I had some potatoes. Pretty good. It's a vegetable in stores now. We should probably stop.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of stuff. Thanks for joining us again. Thanks to Eno for showing up, dropping in last minute.
Anytime, guys.
Anytime. I'm not going to say a date because Paul's in charge of editing. So, Paul, when are we debuting this one? The 20th?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sometime before then. May edition.
Friday. It's always Friday, so.
What? Twitter handle, Stitcher, all that. Can you bring up that stuff? You know that stuff. Oh, wait.
We're done here.
No. Moviemonks@gmail.com. Is that still our email address?
It is.
Okay. The Media Monks, though.
At Twitter. Yep.
And Stitcher app. We're
it'll be in the show notes.
Okay.
I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out. I'm out!
At the right place at the right time, I'll be dead, wanting to be just fine.